What's happening, my fellow geeks on the internet? I'm TGun coming at you with another video. This time I'm finally doing my part 2 of the TGun Verse Batman villains. So I finally finished up all the minifigures. I know it took a little while. It was just on and off. I think I started on these two, stopped for a while, and then I worked on him on and off, and then, it took me a little while. I was just working on and off, working on other figures and stuff, but I finally finished up these 6 figures. Today we've got Scarecrow, Hugo Strange, Rochelle Goyle, Prometheus, Deathstroke, and Deadshot. I really love how these turned out, and I hope you guys like them too. So without any further ado, let's have a look up at the close-ups. So first up we have Rochelle Goyle. I really love how this guy turned out. I had a couple of ideas in mind on what I wanted to do for his outfit, whether it was going to be robes or battle armor, but in the end I decided to go with robes. But yeah, so starting off with his accessories, I've first got his sword. I can't remember what sword this is. I got it off of, I think it was Brick Warriors. I'm not sure. I got it as like a freebie because if you go on those sites, sometimes they give you a freebie. And so I painted up the blade, the handle in a dark grey, and then I also painted the gold details, and I really like how this looks. But yes, that's his sword. I also have this other cane, which I made for him, but I will show you that with his other head, because one thing I really wanted to do with this minifigure is to make 2 heads for him. One so it looks like, just his regular self with the black hair, bit of grey, and then just this standard face, and one that looks like, he's been without a Lazarus pit for a while and needs to go for a swim, whatever. So, yeah. So basically, I just used one of these hair pieces. I'm not sure, I can't remember, I think it was a Doctor Who hair piece. I painted the top part in black and the side bit grey. I then used a Legolas face. I think I did paint it up for originally Doctor Strange face, but then I just re-edited it. Then I just edited the face, giving him a black mustache and black bit down there, and then just adding grey for the rest of the beard, and then grey eyebrows. I don't think I painted on the back of the face, but if I take this off and fix up the stand, you can see I made this cape out of electrical tape, just a standard cape method. I'll leave a link for themoosefigs' tutorial down below, as that's what it's the same method as that. What I did here was for the collar, I took another bit of electrical tape and some paper and stuff, cut it up and just stuck it on there just to give his collar look. That's just another bit which is just stuck down. I can't remember who I saw it off, but I was inspired by someone, so I decided to add that. And I guess now I can show you his other facial expression, which what I did was I just took the vulture face, painted on a light grey beard, and just gave him this Doctor Strange hairpiece unpainted. Then I also gave him his this cane, because I thought, if he's old, why not give him a cane? And so that's what I wanted to do. So that's what I have when he's looking old. So I do prefer the other face, though, but let me know which face you prefer in the comments below. So as I said before, I was tossing up between what I wanted to do for his outfit. Do robes like some incarnations, or do like battle armor, similar to Arkham City, but I just decided to do the robes because it looked better. So for his robes, I used a bit of electrical tape going down both sides. This middle part is a bit of an indent, much like my homemade Spider-Man suit, or Spidey suit. So I wanted to do a similar thing here. And then I added all these gold details coming down. I added like the tunic part or the bottom part of the robes here with electrical tape, and just painted on all these gold details. This belt is another layer of electrical tape going around, and then I just added a gold buckle and just some brown just for the belt, and that's really it, as I drop the stand. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Rochelle Goyle, and then for the arms, I just gave him some Lego gunmetal grey arms. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's move on to the next figure. So next up is the second one I started, and it's Hugo Strange. So this was heavily inspired off of his Arkham City look, just for like his lab coat and stuff, so I really like how it turned out. For his accessory, I just used, I think this is a brick forge needle or something. So it came with like a scalpel, tweezers, and the needle. So I decided to give him this as his accessory. So yeah, I think it works really well for him. So for his face, I just used a Director Krennic face. I just then added some glasses, used some grey for the lenses, just, I thought that would be cool. I then sculpted on his beard and then painted it in brown, did a little bit of dry brushing in grey. Not sure how well you can see that, but I just dry brushed some dark grey on there. Just to show that he's a bit of an older character, or older person. Then I just used a white torso and arms. I then added like another bit of electrical tape here, so this top half has got electrical tape. Then I also added electrical tape for the tunic, which wraps all the way around, as you can see. And then I added a bit of electrical tape for that card there, added the A for Arkham, and then I just painted in the metallic grey clasps, and then I just added all these black details for the wrinkles, the collar, and then just a continuation in the back. But yeah, so I really wanted to add this flap on the front, as I thought it'd be cool just to give him that as like 3D detail, and I really like how it turned out. And then I also gave him just some plain black hands with just cut off bits of black Lego studs for the gloves. So yeah, I really like how this guy turned out. It's a pretty simple figure. I may do another alternative outfit wearing like a more suit shirt, like a shirt, tie, vest, and then maybe like a coat or something. I'm thinking about redoing and revamping this figure. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but that's basically it at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next figure. So the next figure we have is probably my favourite out of the bunch, and that's Deathstroke. So in case you haven't noticed, I'm just basically going in the order in that I started the figures. This was the third one I started. So yeah, like I said, I really love how it turned out. Starting off with his accessories, I gave him this submachine gun. I can't remember what it's called, but I decided to give this to him as I thought it'd be cool. I gave him just a standard Lego sword, which I'm thinking about upgrading to like a Brick Arms tactical sword or something like that. So this is probably just a stand-in for the time being. And then I also gave him this pistol, if I can move his arm and take it out of the holster. Alright, and here's his gun. Just gave him an M9 pistol. So starting off with his helmet, I really wanted to upgrade this Deathstroke minifigure, as I actually found the old versions of a couple of the minifigures. Here's my old Deathstroke from like 2 years ago, and that just looks bad. I mean, like, look at the sheath there, that's all really bulky. I feel like I've really improved in making the sheaths out of electrical tape and stuff, and this was made out of markers before I upgraded to paints. You can see that part there, so it's just starting to peel off. Bandana, or the thing here, is really bad. Just not a good looking helmet, just using a Mandalorian helmet stuff. So that's the old version of the figure. I'll just hide that figure from you so you don't have to see it. And here's the old Hugo Strange for a quick side by side. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, so I really love how this figure turned out. For the helmet, I really wanted to upgrade it. So what I did was I used an Ultron drone helmet. I then put it on. I sculpted on the bottom bit here. And this was inspired by the themoosefigs. I painted the actual head under here black. What I did here for the eye, I filled it in with blue tack. So when I painted it over in the orange and the metallic grey, I didn't end up damaging the eye. So yeah, I wanted to do that. And then on the back, just added some black there. And then I also added the bandanas, which I really like how they came out. And this was just a similar method as what I did for the Daredevil minifigure as well. So just some electrical tape and stuff. So yeah. And then I also decided to give him a scarf, as I really like Deathstroke with the scarf. I just want to be careful because the things are starting to rip. But yeah, so this was, I think, Jessica Jones scarf, and I just repainted in grey. Oh, no, I think this was just a new one. The Jessica Jones one somewhere else. So this was just a new one I made, in spite of how I did the Jessica Jones, which is just taking like a cape or I think it's like the Emmett poncho or something, just cutting it up to size and painting it. And so yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out, because I just really like Deathstroke with the scarf and that. So yeah. For his torso, I used some card, much similar to how I made my Batman minifigure. Just some card for the armor. I then added on the strap here, which goes all the way around. I then added on the scabbard for the sword. You can kind of see the back details, which for this minifigure, originally I was going to add some blue. Then I just decided I really want it to look all nice and tactical and just have black, dark grey, and metallic grey. So that's what I decided to add. I add all the details here. This chest bit is kind of inspired by the Arkham games, with having the main color up there and then just some metallic grey at the bottom there. For the belt, that's actually this right side is the Lego Movie Batman belt. Cut off the buckles, glued that down there. Cut off these two pouches, glued that there. This was another like tactical vest pouch, which is one of these tactical vests. So just cut off the pouch and stuck it on there. Then on the back, I didn't add any pouches. But yeah, the legs are pretty plain, and just plain black legs. Added the metallic grey knee pads. Added some dark grey boots. Just some other detail here. Metallic grey up at the top there. And then yeah. So then for the arms, I added just some dark grey outlines. Metallic grey in the middle there. Just added some gauntlets, and I also just added some plain black, and then just some elbow pads just down there. Then I also gave him tiny tactical glove tops, which really tops off the figure. So I'm just going to quickly go ahead and reassemble him. So like I said, I think he's my favorite out of the bunch. So let me know what you think of this upgrade. I think he's a lot better than the old one that we had. So I had. So go ahead, put the scarf back on him. And then I also have a Slade Wilson face, which I think I probably like displaying him with more than the actual mask. So there's his Slade Wilson face. I got this face off of the Batman vs. Superman Batmobile set that had the Lex Luthor guys. He had one of these. The eyebrow and the wrinkles were added a while ago. Then I just added the eye patch. Painted up a Widow's Peak hairpiece in dark grey, then used a bit of a lighter grey for the sideburns, and it just looks really good. I just really love how this figure looks with this head on. So that's basically it for Deathstroke. Let's move on to the next one. So here is Scarecrow, and he was relatively simple. The only real hard bit about making this figure was trying to keep these claws on there from breaking. Other than that, it was pretty simple. So for Scarecrow, starting off with the hood here. The hood is just a regular Lego hood, which I then painted in a flat brown. Then I took the 2017-16 face. It was the Lego Batman Blue Beetle set with the Scarecrow and it's like the Harvest vehicle thingy. I reviewed on my channel a couple years ago. But anyway, I took that, painted everything except the eyes in this dark brown color. Then took one of those breather pieces, cut off the side bits and stuck it on the bottom, just because I thought, it would work for him. One, to look scary, and two, it helps filter out the fear toxin if he uses it in gas form. So yeah, this is my old Kylo Ren cape, which I then just gave to the figure. I thought it looks nice. Then what I did is I gave him this jacket, which I had lying around, and underneath I just added some detail. I painted this flat brown bit underneath for color, then I just painted on like this vest kind of thing, and added some cloth at the bottom. Added some Xbox card here, painted it in metallic grey to kind of be like, I guess, canisters or something for fear toxin that he may carry around. And then on his arms you can see like torn up dark grey sleeves, which is just the way I painted it. These dark brown arms, and then I just painted on the leather gauntlet and the just dark brown glove there. On this side, I add the same sort of sleeve design here. Then I use a Breakthrough Army Iron Man armor gauntlet. So if you go to Breakthrough Army and buy an Iron Man armor set, then you will get this. And these were actually Brick Arms bayonet, which I cut off because originally I was trying to make an Wolverine a while ago and using these as the claws, but I think I messed up and I just gave up on the figure. So I saw these lying around, still still connected just through the glue. So what I did, I just glued it onto this hand, painted it all metallic grey, and this is just inspired off of the Arkham series where it's got the claws hanging off the top of his hand. So this is all meant to be one piece. It's like one big arm structure thing that he has. So that's just where it goes through. Then you can get refills from here, like from this middle bit here or something like that. So yeah, that's basically how I'm thinking of it. And then this other little gap thing up here, I'm just thinking that's how he can disperse a small amount of fear toxin in gas form. So that's how my thinking for this character goes and how this whole glove thing works. Then at the bottom is just black legs with some brown boots. So yeah, let me know what you think of this figure, and let's go ahead to the next one. So here we have my second favourite from the bunch, Deadshot. I just really love how this guy turned out. I also found the old version of the figure. So basically, he just had black hands on here, van braces from Brickforge, as well as some Lego official clone trooper blasters, scopes up here, and then just an angry clone face and a Superman hairpiece. So yeah, I really think this new one is a step up from this old figure. So yeah, starting off for his accessories, I just gave him this assault rifle as I thought it would be pretty cool, especially with the scope and that. And I did have another one for him, but the thing broke off. So a part of it just broke in between shots, so I just gave him this one. For his face, or for his mask thing, what I used was a ski mask, and I just sculpted in the mouth bit at the bottom here. This bit was from, I think it was a breather or some. It was from something. Oh, I think it was a cartridge from a gun, like a Brick Arms gun, which I bought a while ago when I was trying to make some minifigures from Rogue One. And so I just took the cartridge, just cut it up, glued that on, painted around it in black, and the lens in red. What I did, I wanted to do something different, so I added in a black lens in there, which I thought would be cool. So it's got a lens in there, then it's got the other eye thing here. This is just a headset, which I cut up and glued on, so I added on the ear, so he had the earpieces and this other mic thing at the front. Painted the whole mask in metallic grey, and yeah, I really like how it turns out. I still need to make a Floyd Lawton head without the head on, but without the mask on, but yeah, that's what it looks like. His other accessory that he has is he also has this other little sidearm too. So there's that one. So coming to the figure himself, for the torso, it's just a dark tan torso, which I then painted in my own dark tan colour. I wanted to do a kind of vest thing underneath, so I may make alternative arms to have this light grey arm scheme, just to show the, what it looks like without the red jacket, but I really love this red jacket look, so I probably won't, but yeah. So I added on the collar, just some, I guess these could be red pouches or just designs, I'm not really sure. The metallic grey the metallic grey zipper and pockets, so they're also zipper pockets. I actually took this front belt piece off of a Brick Arms tactical belt, cut it up, glued it on, painted it. I took that from a Lego Batman movie belt, painted it in dark grey, and this is just from the same tactical vest I showed you before, which is just another one of these pouches, because these are really useful. And then on the back, I just added two others. These are from two other different tactical pouches, or two other tactical belts from Brick Arms. For the arms here, I did them in the design of the jacket, so if I actually take off the jacket, I can show you how it looks. Oh, and there's nothing on the back there. So the jacket's just a plain, I think it's an AR jacket, or else a trench coat which I cut down to size. I then just painted it in my flat red colour, added some metallic grey up on the top for detail, added some black zip at the bottom there, added some more detail at the bottom and on the back, just giving this nice looking design. Then just added on some zips like pockets and stuff. So there's that. For his arms, I just painted on the metallic grey shoulder pads, and then what I did is I used some electrical tape, made the gauntlets around here. Then this is part of the Lego official, I think it's like a rifle, like from Star Wars. So what I did was I cut off the scope and just cut it down to size. And so it has like the detail up the top here, and it just looks a lot better than how I used to have them with just two separate barrels. So, because before it just looked pretty plain, whereas now it's got, I don't know, I just like these top bits. It can be like a scope or something. So yeah. So if I just go ahead and reassemble him, and his legs are just some dark grey legs, like Lego official legs, and then just painted on some boots and knee pads in metallic grey, and then just of course added the holster with electrical tape, like made out of electrical tape, and added some straps. So yeah, now I just go ahead and pop the gun back in the holster, and there's nothing really on the back. I added a cargo pocket on the side there, but that's basically it for Deadshot. I really love how this guy turned out. So there we are. Yep. So that's Deadshot, and yeah, I really love how it turned out. I love all this color scheme with the light red and stuff. I just like the look of Deadshot in a jacket and maybe like a vest underneath. It just looks pretty cool in my opinion. Yeah, that's basically it for this figure. And let's go ahead and look at our last figure. So when looking into what minifigure I wanted to make and use in the last spot, I had a couple in mind. Originally I did decide on Catwoman, but then I decided to make her in another part, like maybe in a Bat Family part or something. Because I don't really think of her as a villain, I just think of her as like on her own side. So I don't know when I'll make her, but I'll make her eventually. So I didn't want to make her the villain. So I thought about making Talia Al Ghul, but then I just couldn't be bothered making another Al Ghul, so I'll probably make her eventually. Then I was looking around for other characters, and I came across Prometheus. And I didn't want to make the Arrow version, because, you know, I wanted to make my own design. And so I started watching Nightwing 01's Prometheus Origins thing, because I knew about the character, I just didn't know too much about him. And so, you know, I watched that video. It's a pretty good video. I'll leave a link below. And this would probably be the first Prometheus, because in that video he explains, you know, he goes over and says how there's two Prometheuses. There's one which is a Batman villain, and there's one which is a Green Arrow villain, which is a pretty crap Prometheus. And this guy, who's got like no name under the helmet, the Batman villain, he's, you know, basically a badass, because he's the opposite of Batman. You know, his parents were gunned down by a police officer. He went training around at different places, and then he's got all this other tech and stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of what this guy is. He's basically the first Prometheus. So I did my own sort of armor, and then, yeah, I'm not going to make another Prometheus for the Green Arrow villain, because from the sounds of it, the other guy's crap. Like, basically the first thing that this guy did, or the first Prometheus did, when he came back and found out about the second Prometheus, he killed the first one. So, or something like that. So, yeah, I'm not making another Prometheus. I only like the Batman villain one. So, yeah, that's another little origin thing, but go watch the Nightwing 01 origin about it, and that way you can just see it in more detail, and, you know, and that. So, yeah. Anyway, so starting off with this accessory, I have this sword from Brick Warriors. I can't remember the name of it. I got it a while ago. Most of my Brick Arms, Brick Forge, Brick Warriors stuff is from a while ago, so I don't remember a lot of the names. But yeah, I just had it lying around, thought it'd be cool. For his helmet, I just used an Ant-Man helmet, and then I used a Batman head underneath because I had no other head. But I just painted it in purple, added this nice light gold color because my other gold color ran out. This part was already sculpted in, so if this wasn't sculpted in, it probably would have had his mouth exposed, but I kind of like it not exposed now. So yeah, I made the eye lenses gold, the sides big gold, and just some other gold details, and it just looks pretty cool. This cape was a mid cape. Originally I had it for Director Krennic. I then cut it down to size, and I used part of it and did like what a lot of people did for when they made Luke from Last Jedi, and just added this other little scarf thing around the front, just glued on. Then it's just painted on like a clasp there. I used some card and added on the torso bit, like the armor. Painted it in purple, then just added the gold bits at the bottom there. Added it on this armor bit here and on the sides, and just added some gold into purple. Used a tactical belt piece from Brick Arms on there. Then just the same sort of pouches from the torso bit. Then I just painted some plain black legs, added some boots, and some gold toe caps. And then on here I just painted some gold shoulder pads, as well as using the van braces from my old Deadshot, and then just painted around the rest of the gauntlets. So it's a pretty simple figure. Doing the arms was probably was a pain, because I was running out of my other gold color, and so it was all like clumpy, the paint, and it wasn't working well. So I had to get rid of all that and then use the other paint, and it didn't, it looks better, but I know it was just weird. So yeah, it does, his arms need fixing up, but this is what it looks like for now. So eventually we'll go back and fix up the arms. So yeah, that's it for this minifigure and for the showcase. Let's go ahead and wrap up. So thank you guys again for watching my custom Lego TGun Verse DC Batman Villains Part 2. I really love how these minifigures turned out. I'm really loving how my collection is going. So here is my TGun Verse Batman thrown into the mix as well. So we have Batman with all of his villains that I've made so far. So I'm not sure when Part 3 will be out. Still need to make Firefly, Killer Moth, Clayface, Zaz, Calendar Man. I'm just trying to think who else I need to make. Talia al Ghul, Catwoman, and a few others when I can think of it. So yeah, I still want to make some more Batman villains, and eventually I do want to make some more DC characters outside of Batman. So I want to make Green Arrow and his villains. I want to make Superman, like basically the Justice League and stuff. So yeah, but other than that, the only other real figures I have been working on is I've been working on my Season 1 Walking Dead Rick Grimes minifigure. So I want to do the Season 1 showcase soon. So there's that. I probably will change the face. Let me know what you think of the Han Solo face for Rick Grimes for Season 1. And then I've also been working on my Uncharted 2 minifigures recently. So there's my progress of Nathan Drake. Just need to add some more details and weathering. So I'm really loving how he's turning out. He's looking a lot better than my first one. Which, granted, I need to get a new face, because that's my Uncharted 1 face. Then here is Elena so far. So, from Uncharted 2. So, yeah. I still need to finish those, and then make Flynn and Chloe. So, I don't know when they'll be out, but I'll make them soon. I may make Sully as well for that video. That way I can have him for the other 2 games after that. But yeah, so I'm not sure when my next video will be. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please come like, subscribe, share for more. Check out my Instagram and stuff below. And I'll see you guys next time. Alright. Bye.